This is Andrea, CEO and co founder of Declares Delight for Life. I'm the sensible lady. I put the sensible in sensible, and I help you declutter the clutter in your life. And tonight is how to bring love in your home, in your life. How many times in our homes, we try to figure out, what makes a loving home? What makes a home, a home? That's a big question we ask about in our lives. And we always wonder that, you know, our home is, they always say our home is where our castle is. But I know for me, my home is also my sanctuary. And my sanctuary for me is very much a private place or a place of sanctuary and safety and makes me feel warm and fuzzy, if you might think about it. If you haven't seen my stuffed animals, and I own a beagle, and I have a significant other. And, you know, for me, love and compassion are so the biggest things that a home needs. And I I can't say enough about compassion. Compassion in our society. I'll be very honest. I feel like we don't necessarily have enough compassion. We rush around from place to place. We look at our phones in restaurants, and even families look at their phones and or computers or whatever, and we don't look up from those. But I would love to see that people look up from their phones and look up from these things and look into the eyes of their loved ones and look with loving eyes and with compassion and realize that life is too short. And in order to have a life, one must have relationships and relationships with those you love in your home. And I know for me, even though life is not perfect in any way or any shape or form, I find that compassion is huge as far as a home to be a home. I I can't say enough about compassion. To have compassion for your loved ones, compassion for those who may not necessarily have as much as you, or compassion for, folks who may, you know, be less fortunate than you. But I guess, to me, compassion begins at home. To me, compassion can mean, fixing something special, for a meal for a family, or cooking a meal from scratch. That seems like an odd thing today. It could be as simple, I'm fixing chicken tonight from scratch, and just a simple potato and some other things. But the whole thing is, it's simple, and I'm all about simple as far as the home. And when you think of simplicity, I think of compassion. And compassion to me breeds, a home that is safe. It brings families together. It brings folks together instead of apart. It brings safety. It brings families, that have children that behave. That brings children that are able to, do well at school. Compassion does a lot of wonderful things in a home, because without compassion, you know, how can a mom look at their child who's maybe fallen, when they've, done something things, or sometimes when a child spills milk, and instead of being harsh with the child, just say, it's okay. We all spill milk from time to time. And that includes us in life. We all make mistakes in life that from time to time we want compassion from others, that when we make mistakes that we can all have, be forgiven for the mistakes we make. And to think about all that is to me a beautiful thing. And I would hope that we would all, think of that, with each other, as far as family. Family, to me, I don't necessarily have a family, but I firmly believe that we can make up our own kinds of families. Families are of all kinds now, and I'm not going to go into all the political stuff with that because I don't feel my place to say, because I firmly believe that folks, need to make their own choices as far as family. But to me, a true family is a compassionate family, and a compassionate family is one that is kind and looks at each other and sees beyond what's just in front of them, but sees kindness and hope and tranquility. And to me, a compassionate home is tranquil. And I would hope that with this, that people would understand that compassion is truly at the heart of a home. With that, I wish you a great Declares Delight for Life. Have hope and peace and tranquility and love and compassion for each other, and let there be a light in your eyes. And this is the Sensible Lady signing off and wishing you all the best, and have a great night.